So, where does this gender issue fit in? Well, I would suggest that very far from being, as it looks like in this room today, a women's issue, gender is increasingly in this century being seen as a major political and economic issue. And that's a little bit how I'd like to take a look at it. What do I mean by an economic issue? Well, there's an awful lot of organizations that we work with that believe, like The Economist wrote not so long ago, forget China, India, and the Internet. Economic growth is driven by women. The Economist, not your lightest feminine press, is arguing that the global GDP attributable to women's arrival in the labor market is greater in the world than the combined GDP impact of the Internet, China, and India. How's that for an economic revolution? There's also the small issue, particularly in our beloved Europe, of a demographic decline, an aging population. And how are we going to manage our own survival when some of our countries might face population declines for the first time? Demographics, however, is not destiny. If somebody would wake up to a link that has now been written about by the European Commission, by the OECD, and by the World Bank, is that in the 21st century, unlike a short number of decades ago, only those countries that enjoy high participation rates of women enjoy high birth rates. Which means, if you look at some of this macroeconomic data, that in the 21st century, women, ladies, are voting with their wombs. And if you force them to choose between family and work, which many countries and companies and organizations still do, ladies, we are giving a resounding, if very silent, answer: we will choose work. And there will be no babies in those countries. Something that a lot of politicians have not yet understood, and continue to throw money at women in order to encourage them to stay home and have children, instead of realizing that in this century, women would like to get the money to get some help to go out and continue working.